Ada apa? Ada apa? Ada apa? Ini semua tuh gara-gara Bibi. Aku kesiangan tuh gara-gara Bibi nggak bangunin aku. Maaf Non, soalnya Bibi lagi buat sarapan. Ceroboh banget sih Bi. Ya udah sana buat sarapan yang enak. Awas lo nggak enak.
A few moments later.
Apaan nih makanannya? Dagingnya masih mentah. Bibi masih niat kerja nggak sih? Kalau nggak niat ya udah keluar aja. Kenapa aku selalu salah? So guys, karena gue besok ulang tahun, gue undang kalian semua ke acara ulang tahun gue. Tetapi ada satu orang yang gak akan gue undang, yaitu si Dinda, orang miskin di kelas ini. Sorry ya Dinda, gak gue undang. Habis lo miskin sih, jadinya gak bisa main deh sama orang-orang kaya. Ya, Dindanya nangis, makanya jangan jadi orang miskin. Oke ya guys, jangan lupa sore besok ke acara ulang tahun gue. Oke Mi.
Siap, siap santuy.
Guys, sebelum pulang kita ke kafe dulu yuk. Tenang, nanti gue traktir. Oke bos, makasih. Bos, itu ada si Dinda, bos. Halo Dinda, kasihan banget orang miskin jalan kaki ya, nggak punya mobil. Kenapa sih aku selalu dibully? Mbak, tolong saya Mbak, anak saya kelaparan. Ih, apaan sih mintanya ke saya? Saya juga nggak sudi kali ngasih uang ke orang miskin. Mbak, tolong, tapi anak saya kelaparan, kasihan. Ih, kalau saya bilang enggak ya enggak, maksa banget sih Bu. Sana minta ke orang lain aja, jangan ke saya. Ayo guys, kita langsung masuk ke kafe aja. Gak usah ladenin ibu ini. Lama-lama bisa alergi nih berhadapan sama orang miskin.
A few moments later.
Ya udah guys, gue pulang dulu ya. Jangan lupa besok ke acara ulang tahun gue ya. Dulu Non Mira adalah orang yang sangat baik dan ceria. Yeay, Bibi seru ya. Bibi, Mira sayang banget sama Bibi. Dan sekarang Non Mira menjadi orang yang jahat dan juga marah-marah. Semoga Non Mira dibukakan pintu kebaikannya. Amin. Aduh, Bibi kok belum didekorasi sih? Dikit lagi sore tahu. Iya Non, Bibi lagi masak dulu. Awas ya Bi, nanti siang aku kesini lagi ngeliat kalau belum didekorasi, aku marah sama Bibi.
A few moments later.
Akhirnya makanannya udah jadi. Iya, kue ulang tahunnya masih ada di kulkas, belum aku taruh. Oke, tinggal aku dekorasi ruangan aja deh. Akhirnya udah selesai. Hahaha, biarin aja semuanya Bibi yang kerjain. Aku mau main komputer aja. Nah, gini dong Bi, jadinya rapi. Rapi-rapi dulu ya, mau pakai gaun. Kalau nanti ada teman-teman aku suruh masuk ya Bi. temannya Mira ya. Yuk masuk yuk.
Two hours later.
Halo teman-teman. Wah, Mir cantik banget. Iya, Mir, lu cantik banget, Mir.
Wah, cantik banget lu, Mir.
Thank you. Aduh, ini semua gara-gara Bibi. Pesta ulang tahun aku semuanya jadi kacau. Aduh, ini siapa lagi yang nelpon-nelpon? Oh iya, Pak. Ada apaan ya, Pak?
Nak, perusahaan papa sama mama bangkrut. Jadi papa nggak bisa kasih kamu uang ya, nak. Dan mobil kamu akan ditarik sama leasing. Maafin papa sama mama ya.
Apa? Jadi kalau mama papa bangkrut, aku jadi orang miskin dong. Ini gak mungkin. Aku gak mau jadi orang miskin. Nanti aku gak punya teman.
Mbak, dengan berat hati saya harus mengambil mobil ini ya, Mbak.
Aduh, semenjak gak ada mobil, aku jadi jalan kaki deh. Capek banget lagi. Hi girls. Mir, mobil lu mana? Jangan-jangan lu jatuh miskin lagi. Enggak, mobil gue lagi di bengkel. Iya, di bengkel. Masa sih, Mir? Gak percaya gue. Bener, gue tuh bener, gak bohong. Ah, udahlah Mir, gue gak mau main sama lo lagi. Lo jadi miskin. Kita gak mau main sama orang miskin kayak lo lagi. Apakah ini balasanku karena telah sombong kepada orang lain? Semenjak Mira jatuh miskin, teman-temannya pun tidak ingin berteman dengan Mira lagi. Bibi, maafin Mira ya kalau Mira ada salah sama Bibi. Bibi, semenjak aku jatuh miskin, teman-teman aku gak mau berteman sama aku lagi, Bi. Yang sabar ya, Non. Pasti kamu akan ada teman kok, Non.
The man we know as Saint Martin of Tours, France, was born in about the year 316. Martin came into a world of transition. Christians were no longer persecuted by the Roman Empire, but Christianity was still not accepted by all. Martin's father, a Roman army officer who had risen through the ranks, remained faithful to the old religion and suspicious of this new sect, as did Martin's mother. Therefore, it was Martin's own spiritual yearning and hunger that led him to secretly knock on the door of the local Christian church and beg to be made a catechumen when he was 10 years old. At the age of 15, Martin was required to follow his father into the cavalry corps of the Roman military. The Roman army had apparently had a law that required sons of veterans to serve in the military. By the time he was 18, Martin is believed to have served in Gaul and also eventually Milan and Treves. Scholars think he served as part of the Emperor's Guard. Although his youth was spent as a cavalryman in the Roman army, he continued to yearn for something more. Legend has it that one day, when Martin was stationed in France, the most iconic moment took place. He was wearing the fine woolen cloak that was given to every soldier, and his sword hung by his side. As he rode along, he noticed a man huddled and shivering by the side of the road, obviously poor. The man's thin and worn clothes did nothing to protect him from the winter chill. Nobody seemed to notice the man, except Martin. Having no money with him, he stopped, grabbed his sword, and sliced his cloak in half. Leaning down, he gave half to the man and wrapped himself in the other half. After this, he continued on his way to the barracks. When he reached the barracks, the other soldiers laughed out loud and made fun of him because he looked so odd in half a cloak. That night, Martin had a vision in which Christ appeared to him. He saw Jesus wearing half the mantle he had given to the beggar. Jesus said to the angels and saints that surrounded him, "See, this is the mantle that Martin, yet a catechumen, gave me." From that moment, Martin knew what he wanted to do. He took the huge risk of withdrawing from the army, telling the emperor, "I have served you as a soldier. Now I am a soldier for Christ and must not fight any more." This angered the emperor, who didn't want to lose a good soldier. But Martin stood firm in his resolve, and he was released and obtained a discharge from the army. Now, out of military service, Martin could fully dedicate himself to the service of Jesus Christ and the Church. He traveled to Tours, where he began studying under Hilary of Poitiers, who is now recognized as a doctor of the Church. On a trip over the Alps to visit his parents, he was attacked by robbers who not only wanted to steal what he owned, but threatened to take his life. Calm and unperturbed, Martin spoke to the robbers about God. One of the robbers was so impressed, he converted and became a law-abiding citizen who told his own story to Sulpicius years later. For many years, he preached and evangelized throughout the countryside, living as a missionary and helping the poor and the sick. His reputation for holiness attracted other monks, and they formed what would become the Benedictine Abbey of Lagouge, the oldest known abbey in Europe. Soon, he was considered the holiest man in France, period. At a time when bishops were still chosen by the people, he was sought out to serve as bishop after the previous bishop died. Martin did not want the job, so the people decided to trick him into the office. The people insisted he was needed to administer to someone sick, so he came out as quickly as he could. When Martin realized their real purpose, he hid from the people of Tours in a shed full of geese. The squawking geese quickly revealed his hiding place, and he reluctantly agreed to serve as the bishop. Unlike many bishops, he did not live in a grand home, but rather in a monk's cell. There, Martin taught the people all he knew about God's kingdom. He preached the good news that God loved all people, pagan and Christian, heretic and saint. He continued caring for the sick and those in great need, and he developed a reputation for saving the lives of prisoners. He traveled incessantly and was untiring in evangelizing the people of the countryside of Gaul and in founding churches. Martin also developed a reputation as a miracle worker and prophet. He foresaw his own death and told his disciples of it. By the time of his peaceful death, Bishop Martin of Tours had a well-deserved reputation for holiness. Martin died in France in 397 at the age of 81, and at his request, he was buried in a cemetery with the poorest of the poor.